Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Like accidentally opening the front-facing camera. It's the audience of one show on Conroe's 106.1 and 104.5 FM, streaming on irlonestar.com and available wherever you tend to get your podcasts from. On today's show, we discuss drinking your condiments, when your food attacks, and controversy at the World Chess Championships. I am Andrew, maestro of the run sheet, next to the guy who isn't really sure what Big Lots is. It's Dick. You should expect anything when you talk to strangers. Schisler. You look a little bit like a stranger right now in your hoodie. Looking very Luigi Mangione, I might add.
Just because I'm wearing a hoodie?
Yeah.
So first it's Trayvon Martin, now it's Luigi. Why is it always going to be bad guys?
The hoodie always gets a bad rap, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think we're going to change that right now. Make hoodies great again.
Shoot.
You look great, man. You look great. Happy New Year, the holidays and New Year, everything officially behind us.
Yeah.
A new year, man. Happy New Year. And you know what? Your Christmas gift still hasn't come in. The USPS tracking on it says it is in Illinois, where it has been for the past, 6 days, it seems.
Yeah, that's how it works during the holidays.
Why is it so hard to ship a package these days? I don't get it. Maybe it's because I ordered it during the holidays. It's just, come on. I don't know. Very frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I think Amazon pays a lot of money to make everything else late but them.
This is very true. It is not an Amazon purchase.
That's my theory.
It is not. I wonder if I could have gotten it on Amazon. Probably not. I'm going to guess, but maybe we'll just have to wait one more week.
So was everything cool?
Everything is cool.
Everyone's safe?
Christmas good. New Year's good. You know, I got to thinking about the Christmas, gift opening experience. I really think we need to standardize the time in which everybody opens gifts, because it seems like everybody does it at different times, and everybody does it in different ways. Especially when your kids are little, it's early in the morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and then boom, everything's over by 8 o'clock. But I think we need to do it kind of like Halloween, where everything's in the evening, and you just build up this anticipation for it all day.
I'm sure there's a family that does that.
You think?
You should become Jewish.
That's what I need to do, become Jewish?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with it?
You get a gift every day.
Okay, I guess. I'm just talking about the actual Christmas day.
Oh. Well, I mean, every family does it a little different.
I think we need to standardize it. No gifts earlier than, say, 3 p.m. You can't. And if you're a parent, you can really use that extra time.
Children would
Exactly.
die.
No, that's the point. Yes, you're going, you got to be good. Got to be good. And then you can get your mimosa on with your wife there while the kids are just dying and chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mine was
great.
the worst because I was like, I just hear the kids everywhere. I'm like, I just want to sleep. Can I just sleep? And then
Are you the guy that sleeps in on Christmas Day?
Well, currently, yes.
Yeah, okay, I figured. I kind of forgot the holidays were here.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Like with the break in the studio, like we didn't really have any shows. So I was like, do I really?
Except for this magical one.
Yeah, and then I was like, do I really have to go in? And then I was like, no, I don't. So I just literally did whatever I wanted every day, which turned out to be nothing.
How is that different from any other day, Dick? Let's be honest.
I do a lot when I'm during the shows, during the week.
But it's always something you want to do. Maybe not.
I mean, it depends.
Maybe not.
I mean, some days are 12 hours here, and then some days are 4 hours here.
This is true.
And I'm in control of my own schedule. So of course, I put everything kind of like if everyone's gone to college, like I'm gonna take every class. It's like a 1-day class instead of having like multiple days. Like I have 14 hours today.
The problem is you have too much downtime in between. You're like, this is great. 1 day to suck, and then the rest, you quote unquote study. It never happens that way.
Yeah.
You find mischief. Trust me. I know all about that. Summer class was kind of a little bit like that.
I wanted to share something with you that I saw today. Do you know who Cinemark is?
I mean, the movie theater?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, so Cinemark's doing its National Popcorn Day
Oh,
on the
is it?
on the 19th.
Okay.
And I saw a promo they were doing. It's $5, all you can eat, maximum 400 ounces.
That is an exceptionally large amount of popcorn. 400 ounces, although I don't know that I typically order my popcorn in ounces, but I'm just going to assume that 400 is a lot.
It's 25 pounds.
Now, hold on. Do they serve it to you all at one time?
I'm going to pull it up.
That would be great.
I'm going to pull
just
it up.
dragging this huge bag of popcorn.
No,
in
what
the
it
movie
is,
theater
it's
with you.
BYO bucket. So you can bring your own bucket.
Just like a big old 55-gallon trash bin and have them fill it up.
Well, it got me thinking because it's like, 5-gallon. They're like the standard buckets at the Home Depot and stuff. I was
Sure.
like, where do you get 25-gallon buckets?
Yeah, I don't know,
And
man.
guess what the majority companies that use 25-pound buckets are?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Food preppers.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like,
People who think the end is near.
yeah. So that's where I found. I was like, I was thinking of whoever would actually bring a 25-pound bucket to Cinemark, like fill this baby
Some
up.
weirdos, that's for sure.
So yeah, it's on their website. And
So how much
it's-
popcorn did you get?
Oh no, it's on the 19th.
Oh, how much popcorn are you going to get?
I don't know. But what's weird though, it says 400 ounces, equivalent to 2 XL popcorn. So they sell.
That means they sell 13.5-gallon
Yeah.
servings as it is now.
I don't get it. But it's bring your own bucket.
It's a lot of carbs and fiber, man. Just going to throw that out.
Well, it's just funny that they had to figure that out.
What do you mean they had to figure it
Like
out?
they're like, hey, we got to put a cap on it. We got to
Yeah.
do something.
It's true.
we
How did
can't-
they decide on 25 ounces?
400.
pounds, sorry,
400,
pounds.
400
400
ounces. I don't know.
I keep getting my pounds and ounces mixed up. I
Well,
apologize.
that's why I love when they use words like that because like, oh, that's a lot of popcorn. But then again,
so
it's
that
like,
means they have a 13.5-pound serving right now.
I guess.
No.
I don't really know how they would measure it.
Because popcorn's pretty light, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's why I don't really understand. Maybe there's some hidden thing where they do it by the kernel and not by the already popped popcorn.
Well, since I know you're going, I want you to find out and report back on the show for
Well,
us,
what
please.
bucket are we going to bring?
Whichever
You
one
can
you
bring
want.
any bucket you want. What bucket would you bring?
I don't have a bucket. I have a mop bucket, but I ain't putting my popcorn in there.
It's BYO bucket, dog.
Maybe I'll have to go to the
Like
bucket
this
store
one,
and
they
get
even have a
something.
cooler.
At the container store.
In one of the pictures, they have a cooler.
I do have a. You know what? I can bring a Yeti in. That's
Yeah.
true. Of course, Yetis are heavy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of funny. It's like it got me thinking. I wonder what the most ridiculous bucket is going in that day at Cinemark.
I don't know, but I have a feeling it's going to be yours.
It's $5. That's pretty
Not
good.
bad.
That's a pretty
not
good
bad.
deal.
So, did you get all of your Christmas cards and New Year's cards sent out in time, Dick? I love that.
Well, like, let's be real.
You know, I think it's interesting because I've heard more than one person say this over the holidays. You know, I'm really bad at sending out Christmas cards.
I'm bad at every card. Like
And I
thank
thought
you
to
cards,
myself,
everything.
I don't even know what that means when you say you're bad at it. What do you misspell names? Is the picture blurry? No, what you actually mean is you don't do it. But I heard multiple people say, I'm really bad at doing it. I guess it's just an easier way of saying I don't actually send Christmas cards out because then people look at you like, what's wrong with you?
Well, hey, there's
But if you just say I'm bad at it, oh, well, maybe there's
Not
hope.
bad.
Maybe there's hope you can actually get good at it.
well, I guess it has to be a generational
don't get it.
thing because, like, the Christmas cards we get or like I get are from like family friends. I maybe get one or two from actual friends that it's their wife or something that put this together.
It's always the wife.
We did have a mystery over the Christmas break. Is my mom and dad got a Christmas card from a family. She's like, I have no idea who these people are,
That's awesome.
and so she sends out a text to everybody with the pictures. Like, does anybody know who this is?
So it's just generic. It just says Merry Christmas.
no. It's like a family. It's like a family Christmas card.
Well, it has to
And
have their
said-
name on
said
it.
To the it has their name on it, and it says to the Schischler family.
Oh, that is awesome.
And my mom was like, I have no idea who this is. And then everyone in
That's
her
awesome.
family was like, I have no idea who that is.
But you made the list.
But yeah,
That is interesting.
It was really weird.
We talked about this last year. If you send out your cards and you get a card from somebody that wasn't on your list, you quickly have to go and send one out. Be like, oh, sorry, it must have gotten lost in the mail. I'm a little late this year.
Well,
It's
I mean,
like different
I
from
don't-
all the other cards you sent.
No, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's a huge deal amongst
Because,
the
some
ladies.
people
Trust
budget it
me.
out. It's like, hey, we're making 50 cards, so we can only send it out to 50 people. And you're our 51st person, so I'm sorry you didn't get one. But then again,
There is a line of demarcation of people
do
who
pe-
make the list, the A squad and the B squad.
But do you really care if you don't get a Christmas card?
Well, not particularly. Although I do enjoy getting them. Right, I look at them and have a reflective moment, and then it goes on the mantle or in the trash. But it doesn't hurt my feelings if I don't receive one, because I I'm really bad at sending them out myself, Dick.
Yeah, I don't really care.
No way.
Yeah.
Either way, huh? But I'm
Yeah.
sure you received some personally, did you not?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Did they go on your mantle?
Trash.
Of course.
I gave it a little kiss, and I go, goodbye.
Well, I'm glad the holiday season is behind us because it is a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of time spent on it. I'm kind of over it, so onwards and upwards. I have a crazy story to tell you, man. I was at the park. Yes, this is the same park I'm usually at where I have my stories, where I see little leaguers playing and I think I can take them. Or I have the weird guy who tells me hi every time we pass by.
Yeah.
Please tell me we're recording. Okay.
Yeah,
You had a look on your face.
I'm just looking.
Well, I had this wild story happen to me the other day. So I'm going to the park, and there is a woman walking in front of me. She's by herself. We get to the circle where people typically run or walk, and she starts stretching, again, by herself. So I start to jog, and she starts to jog as well. And she gets about halfway through this loop, and I notice there's some children that are by themselves that start yelling, Mommy, Mommy. At this point, she turns and looks back over at them, kind of half acknowledges, turns back around, and keeps running. The little boy then says, I have to pee. I need you to come with me, Mommy. She keeps running. What do you think that little boy decided to do?
Oh, drop trout.
Walked about 4 feet to the nearest palm bush, pulled his pants all the way down to his ankles, and just whizzed all over the place. Finished before the mom could get back on her loop, so she is none the wiser that this kid has just watered the plants. It was crazy, man. So as soon as that kid started peeing, I'm like, yep, my turn to start on my next lap, because I didn't want to be around for that. Be accused of anything, Dick. Again, don't want to have pictures taken of me in the vicinity of a child that is naked.
Yeah. Kids are wild
Crazy,
like that.
man. Just pissed.
I had a friend actually over the break do something similar. One of the kids was like just dropped trout and started peeing in the yard, and I'm like, that's pretty ballsy. I like it.
No pun intended.
And then
So
he
to
got ADD on him, so he just started playing without any pants on. And I'm like,
Forgot the last step, dude.
yeah, dude. I was like, come on, man, put some pants on.
So excited about going back to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an excellent mindset that children have. They don't want to stop playing, so they wait till the very last minute till they're almost going to piss themselves,
they
they just do right there, and then they forget to put them back up because they're
Yeah.
so excited. And this is why we need to wait till 3 o'clock to open up gifts.
Yeah.
See, it comes full
can see
circle.
it. I can
Comes
see it.
full circle. All right, Dick, let's go ahead and get this show started because we have a huge, jam-packed show to start off the new year, everybody. With the arrival of this new year, a new generation is officially on the horizon. Dick, welcome in Gen Beta, defined as individuals born between 2025 and 2039. Most members of this generation are expected to live well into the 22nd century, according to social researcher and futurist Mark Crindle. Mick Crindle. What the hell's a futurist? I'd love to call myself a futurist. And also, I have to admit, beta kind of sounds like a weak name for a generation. About as bad as the silent generation, if you ask me. What say you, buddy?
Sure. I don't keep
Beta.
up. I don't keep up with that kind of stuff.
I think it's crazy that we've already named them. See, I thought that generation, like names of generations, didn't really get established till they'd already been around for 10, 12 years so that you could sort of define, like something about them that they had in common. Now we're naming them before they've even gotten started.
Beta?
Beta, because I guess we had alpha before them, and now it's beta. Gen Beta also includes the children of younger Gen Ys and the older Gen Zs and will make up 16% of the global population by 2035.
Cool.
Yep, it says the futurist also anticipated that Gen Beta will be a generation characterized by significant technological integration and a strong appreciation for diversity. No kidding. You mean to tell me kids that are going to be living in the year 29 are going to have a significant technological integration? Yeah, they're going to be mating with robots.
Aren't we already doing that?
Yeah, we are. I think that is actually I heard that by the year 2035, a certain percentage of our population will be only relating with robots. Dick, I wonder what portion you will fall into. I don't know.
Well, I think you just look around the world and see who's doing it first.
This is true.
I bet
Japan, they're
Japan-
on the leading edge,
I know,
man.
I mean, it's
they
like-
always are. They always are. Jen Beta.
What?
Sounds
That's what I
weak, man.
love. What was that movie, Gattaca? Gattaca is such a neat movie when it came to the population control and then the whole genetics thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really. I was like, that's for sure going to happen already.
I don't know if I remember that movie.
It has Ethan Hawke in it and Uma Thurman.
Yeah, late 90s, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
and basically, if you want to have a kid, you have to be. I don't know if they force the testing, but you can basically
I've
test tube a
seen
baby together, and it's like the ultimate. And it gets all rid of your genetic defects, so like health problems and stuff like that. And then you can say like, "Oh, I want this kid to be average 6 to 6'9".
Oh, right, sure. Yeah.
And I think the thing I love about that is the awkward. I don't know, like the 10, 20 years where everyone that's like our height, and everyone's like, no, I want 7-foot babies.
Right, right.
And then so for like 10 years, everyone's like, hey, this is my mom and dad, and they're like this big. And then like the one kid you got that you could afford is like 7 foot tall, and then like the oops kid is like a normal. And I think that'd be pretty good.
7 foot seems a bit excessive to me.
Yeah, but if you could choose
Think
your
of
child,
the resources he's going to consume over his life. Very irresponsible. Think of the carbon footprint he has.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Or
someone's going to complain about it, but
Me.
But everyone, the average person is going to pick like an ultimate human being.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. They ain't going to pick anybody who looks like me and you, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, no, that may be me, but
Perhaps. He does own a radio station, folks. 2 Portland men went looking for Sasquatch on Christmas Eve, died in Washington state forests, apparently of exposure. And I thought at first it was exposure from Sasquatch,
Yeah.
which would have been pretty impressive. He exposes himself.
Usually, exposure means poor planning.
And it says, I think it's exposure to the weather, but
Yeah,
it does
poor
not
planning.
say. It just says apparently of exposure.
Yeah.
I guess it was more impressive than they had thought, or maybe very less impressive.
See,
I mean, they figured Sasquatch was going to be, I don't know.
But see, whenever I hear that kind of like cause of death, it's so generic that something else was at play.
You think so?
Yeah.
You got a 59-year-old and a 37-year-old male went out on Christmas Day to go look for Sasquatch. I'm going to guess there was some alcohol involved. What do you think?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe some hallucinogens?
I mean, especially it's cold as heck up there, and then it's just kind of like you don't want to be like Jack Nicklaus at the end of The Shining. Like no one wants to end up like that.
Typically not a goal, yeah.
And
It says they were only gone for the entire day, and when they found them at
that's
the
what
end
I'm
of the
saying.
day, they were already deceased. It's not like they were gone for 3-4 days and people went
Yeah.
looking for them for a week. It was like the afternoon, they're ringing the dinner bell. Honey, come
'Cause-
on in, your beef Wellington's ready. And they're like, well, no, he's dead.
like that guy with 127 hours, like I could see that being exposure.
Oh, Dick, sometimes you are wise beyond your years. The next sentence is, quote, both deaths appear to be due to exposure based on weather conditions and, quote, ill preparedness.
Yeah. Well, no, that's usually what happens when people die of exposure.
So you mean to tell me 2 guys going out looking for Sasquatch were ill prepared? No way.
yeah.
Come on. You think those kind of guys would be the most prepared? Dick, what do you think you typically take on a Sasquatch journey? A couple of Slim
I
Jims?
met
or-
a guy who
Jack
who
Links?
did a couple movies of
Okay,
Sasquatch.
please tell.
They do have their standard surveillance equipment that's more of like heat based, and then they set up triggers around the woods, and they have a base camp. And they kind of monitor the triggers when they sleep, and then when they search, they basically put on heat vision kind of stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, of course. Did they find him?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
That's kind of the whole point.
That never crossed my mind. I was more interested in just the journey, not
Not the destination,
not
huh?
the destination.
Camera recordings were used by authorities to locate the vehicle used by the pair off of Oklahoma Road near Willard on the southern border of the National Forest. 60 volunteer search and rescue personnel were called up from the sheriff's office for a grueling, they did search for them for 3 days, but they reported them missing the first day. 3-day search over difficult terrain and harsh weather conditions. Well, R.I.P. to these 2 men. What is their names? Does it even say? It doesn't.
I wouldn't worry about it.
No, wouldn't worry about it too much. All right. Dick, how about drinkable mayonnaise? I tease
Isn't it
condiments.
already drinkable?
Yeah, it is kind of one of those things that's a little bit divisive. People either love or hate mayonnaise. What are your thoughts on mayonnaise?
I love mayonnaise.
So do I. Actually, I'm not going to say that I love it, but I like it on things. Love sounds a little bit too intense.
Well, I mean, it can make a sandwich 10 times better.
It can, yeah, especially if the bread's a little dry. I feel like mayonnaise does a better job of moistening bread than mustard does.
Oh, yeah.
It's more viscous. Yeah, see, I'm starting to use that word in more.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah. If nothing else, the show
But
is
drinkable mayonnaise?
Yeah, but so in November, Lawson, a Japanese convenience store chain, launched Nomu Mayo, a drinkable mayonnaise that you can pick up in a cup and start chugging before you even leave the store. I don't know, man. I do like mayonnaise, but I don't understand the drinkableness of it. I guess. Well, this is also the same country that does like ramen in a squeeze tube. But
yeah, but then again, it's
food.
like, can I put it on food?
I mean, well, that'd just be regular mayonnaise. That'd be squeezable. But this is
what I'm saying.
drinkable, which to me means it's a little more liquidy, right?
Yeah.
Because mayonnaise is a little too thick to drink on its own. This would have to be liquid mayonnaise.
Oh, whatever.
Sounds disgusting.
Some places like to get a little weird.
Yeah, it shows, and I don't know if you want to show the onesie, the actual cup that it comes in. It's kind of neat looking, I suppose, but it also looks a little disgusting. It looks like just a regular cup with, I don't know what that says, Dick. Can you read the Japanese on there? With what appears to be lines of mayo. Ugh. I don't know, man.
Well, is it in a tube or is it not?
I think it's in like a glass, it shows it in like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a container, but that just shows a cup.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There's the video.
Okay, yeah. That person looked like they're really enjoying their cups of mayo. I don't know, man. I don't think this is something I could do. I like to fancy myself as a person that likes diverse foods, but I don't think I could do drinkable mayo.
I try it. I always try something once.
It says the convenience store is putting the product out for a test sale period to see how people respond. And while the general reaction online has been confusion, it's also certainly led to many at least curious enough to try it, for science.
Go for it, dog.
There you go. There you go. Dick, are you familiar with who Joe Burrow is?
Yeah.
Yes, he's the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Are you a Joe Burrow fan?
I guess.
Well, some guys really like certain guys. Like, I like Baker Mayfield. I can admit it, right? I like that dude.
So what about this dude?
Well, Joe Burrow recently gifted his linemen katana swords.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of this I don't want to call it a phenomenon, but this situation that happens every now and again where a quarterback will buy gifts for his linemen as a token of thanks for helping him out throughout the year, protecting him. A lot of times, though, I think Brock Purdy, who's the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, bought his linemen a bunch of Toyota trucks. Well, Joe Burrow said, nah, that's not cool enough. I'm going to buy them katanas, which I have to admit is pretty awesome. But he says if it were up to him and his teammates, his gift to them would have been a little bit different because they actually wanted guns. And I was like, well, I don't know about guns, guys. How about we go to the next best thing, keep it in the whole weapons realm, and get them a katana, a samurai sword. And I think that's pretty dang cool.
I think he did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, as far as those type of gifts go,
Yeah.
right? Well, I mean, wait, I did say that Katana Guy was a red flag. So now, by definition, all of his linemen are now red flags, ladies. Never trust a guy with a katana.
I don't know what I would do if someone gave me a katana.
I don't know either.
Because it's one of those things where it's like, is this something from like 1600 Japan or something like that? Or...
So I think these were not the ones at Disney World, like I said. These were probably relics, thousands and thousands of dollars that a guy with a long beard that he would do this to probably owned at one point and or made. And probably sat like cross-legged to do it too for hours on end.
Interesting gifts.
I think it's pretty cool though, man. Again, you don't normally see stuff like that.
No.
No. Do you remember back in the year 2018, there was a woman at a baseball game who had a hot dog shot up into the stands.
Yeah. I remember that.
This came across my social media, and I, for whatever reason, did not remember this. So I looked it up. But apparently, Kathy McVeigh says she was at a Phillies game on Monday night. Again, this was back in 2018, when the team's mascot, named the Philly Fanatic, rolled out a hot dog launcher.
Yeah.
And McVeigh was sitting near home plate. She says if all of a sudden a hot dog wrapped in duct tape struck her in the face. Why is the hot dog in duct tape, Dick? I don't understand that. I guess to keep it together. I guess if
Yeah.
you launch a hot dog at a
That
certain
would be even
speed,
better.
it falls apart.
Do the mustard mayonnaise on it and just. And then
Do you think the mayonnaise would help it cut through the air a little bit
Yeah.
faster, a little bit better?
that's what they should have shot is the liquid mayonnaise.
It says she's suffering from was suffering from a shoulder injury, so she was unable to swat the hot dog away.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Seeing it coming at you and being unable to do anything about the hot dog. Oh no! And it's got duct tape.
Yeah. Yeah, she had a hematoma, a small hematoma.
So I think it came so fast and it just hit me like that, and I didn't even realize. The hot dog bounced off my face and into another seat, she says. If it gives people a good laugh and it makes someone chuckle, then that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
The pictures of her show her like pretty messed up.
That's what I was looking for.
Oh, it's not in this.
Yeah.
Oh, I had looked. There was one of the articles that I went through when I was looking for this. Yeah, you said she has a small hematoma. She was bruised up pretty bad. But I guess what do you expect? I mean, what's the end game here? If you wrap up a hot dog in duct tape, is it edible at that point? Right? So they're just shooting hot dogs just for the hell of it up into the stands. I mean, it's not like here's a
have you ever
snack.
been to New York and all those hot dogs are already wrapped up? You're like, how long have those been there? I'll take 2 of them.
Yeah, but that's your intent is to eat them.
Yeah, true.
This I don't
Yeah,
understand. Is it
Oh,
just
here we go.
again?
I got her. I got her.
Oh, look at that. So what you're looking at here is a woman looks like she's, I don't know, in her 60s, I'm guessing. Maybe late 50s. Does she do it for you, Dick? Especially
Well, I
while
mean,
being
that
bruised.
that got her good.
That got her right across the face. That was a wiener right across the face. And she got a black eye. It looks a little bit like she may have broken her nose, but I guess they would have said that in the story if it had. Well, the Phillies apologized to her, and the team has offered her tickets to another game. Wow, how special is that? Maybe
I guess. Well, can you imagine that phone call?
From the Phillies?
Well, no, from the woman going like, all right, I want to go see them play the Yankees or whatever. And she like dials thing. And
It's true, yeah.
They're like, oh, hello, welcome to the Philly. Oh, this is Vanessa. Vanessa, and I want my tickets. Well, who are you? I got hit by the hot dog.
Sorry, ma'am. All the tickets are sold out for the Yankees game. That is a hot ticket. I'm hot dog lady. Oh, damn, that's right.
We got to figure this out.
We got to figure this out quick.
So-
We don't want to get sued by hot dog lady. All right, last story here before the break. Over the summer, I don't know how I missed this story, but an Alabama man was accused of stripping and jumping naked into the Bass Pro Shop aquarium.
Yes.
According to reports. Yes, we got a story that you're interested in. A man was arrested in Alabama after he allegedly took off his clothes and jumped naked into a large aquarium.
There's no pictures?
There are, of course, the part you're interested in is blurred out, Dick.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just starts swimming around in there like one of the mermaids at SeaWorld. And they said he was a 42-year-old man, began behaving erratically, crashed his vehicle into a pole in the store's parking lot, got out of the vehicle, took off his clothes, ran into the Bass Pro Shop where he jumped into the aquarium. Hey, man, if you're going to go out in style.
Or you got like that guy with the Tesla truck.
Yeah, well.
That was a poor joke.
Yeah,
but
that was
tried.
in poor taste, Dick. That was in poor taste. All right, man, it's probably a pretty good time to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about where doctors say it is indeed a safe place to relieve yourself. Right here on the Audience of One
The
Show.
park. All right, welcome back to Audience of One here on Lone Star Community Radio. We're here every Friday at 10 a.m. with new shows released on our podcast, YouTube, Facebook, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, make sure to follow us and subscribe, of course. And then you can always visit past shows at irlonestar.com/AOO. And if you ever have a fun article that you run across that we want to talk about, audienceofoneshow@gmail.com. So we're back to our second part of the show, post-New Year, and now it's January 2025. I wonder how long it's going to take me to write 2025
Yep.
every time I do the date. I think I'm just going to give up and just not put dates on anything and just...
What could be the possible ramifications
I don't
for
know.
doing that?
I don't know.
I didn't put a date on it. Can't hold me to it.
Yeah, it's
It's kind of like the expiration dates no longer being allowed in on food in California.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
Yeah,
Just give the year a sniff test. Open the door and smells like 2025.
That's so funny.
It does sound like a made-up year, though. 2025. It doesn't seem real. We're living in the future, Dick. We're living
It
in
is
the
a little
future.
odd how much further we are going in time, but nothing's really seemed to change. Like it's like a gradual change.
What? I think things are changing awfully quickly.
Like what?
3 years ago, we had no generative AI, and now all of a sudden, it's infecting our lives. We had no robot waiters that look like kitty cats. Now you've got one serving you
but
your
we
soup.
did though, in
No,
one
we
way or
didn't.
another.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
They've had robot waiters before.
I think you're thinking
Kind
of
of like
a movie you saw.
kind of
buddy.
like electric taxi cabs.
I think you're waking up from a fever dream.
You don't
right
remember
now,
that?
sir.
We discovered the first like electric taxi cab that was like in 1989 or something like that.
Yes, that is true. We did talk about that. It was back in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Yes, there was an electric taxi cab. However, it was a manned. Now we're talking about things that don't even have human beings in them. The electric car is not necessarily something that's new. It's new to be in mass production. But yeah,
All right, look, 1983. Two Panda Deli was the first restaurant to employ robot waiting staff.
yeah, I
So
don't
there
know.
you
How
go.
good of robots were they back in 1983? And I bet you couldn't have sex with them either. Yeah. Lame.
That's like the first. That's a
Lame.
bridge right there. Here, I got a picture of it for you.
Oh, I got to see this 1983 robot.
Right there. Look at that.
Okay.
You see that?
It looks an awful lot like R2D2.
Look. Oh, we even got a video.
I don't believe that
look
is
at
real.
this.
I don't believe that's real.
Let's see it.
Two Panda Chinese Deli. What's a Chinese deli? All right, so they put this on this little
All
robot.
right.
Yeah, I think the term robot here is pretty loose.
No.
It is a machine, and it does roll out a few feet and hand you your food.
So
Okay.
what do you-
All right. I guess it's not all that much different from the cat that you were talking about the other day. Why is it does appear to be Asian or Pan-Asian restaurants that tend to be on the cutting edge of using robots as waiters?
No, it's probably like an uncle of somebody who developed it. They're like, "Hey, I got this robot. You want to test it out in your restaurant?" I'm like, yeah, dude, let's do it. That's usually how that works.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't mass produced.
But one thing I love about the robot thing, and I'm very curious about it, is accountability of it. Because imagine one of these things like running over your foot,
okay.
and because there's always somebody that's going to complain or try to do insurance scams and things like that, and it's like, well, what do you really want to do? Like this robot pushed me into this thing and I fell over.
Correct. That's kind of like what I said when you have a self-driving car. Is Tesla going to be at fault, or are you going to be at fault? Who's at fault if a self-driving car runs a red light?
I guarantee you on that is when you sign the contract to own the car, there's probably like 10 pages about saying we're not responsible. You are taking.
Yeah, probably so.
Well, it's kind of like the bowling thing. I always loved that when you push the red button, there's there's all these lined items and no one ever reads it. And it's basically saying, I agree.
Don't know what red button. Oh, you're talking about when you
When you
start
start
your
your
automatic
bowling.
scoring at a bowling center. Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
it'll say like
Yeah.
by pressing the red key, you're
Yeah.
accepting all responsibility.
Right. If you cross the line and the lanes are slippery and you break your neck, it's on you.
yeah,
But no one reads that. It's kind of
but-
like social media apps and every other app you have on your phone. We're
But-
stealing every bit of information about you. Do you accept? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep,
You know
just,
what's funny?
Just give me that new TikTok
over
vid, bro.
over the break, someone got my debit card, even though I only bought like 3 things.
What are you going to do without that extra $15 now?
No, they went to like Walmart.com and got like $100 worth of stuff, and I was like, that didn't bother me. What bothered me was I was like, where did I go to spend? Like the only thing I ever used
Yeah,
my
you use cash for most everything.
yeah, and like I was like, there's only 3 places that I went to in the past week, and
You're
that's
off the gr-
HEB.
You're off the grid.
It's HEB and the gas station and maybe the liquor store.
Gotta be the gas station, right?
So
maybe
now-
maybe it was one of them skimmers.
Well, no, I did the chip tap.
Ah, so did you know that the chip tap is just as easily skimmed as the actual sliding? And
Well,
part of
clearly it is.
Part of it is guys will sit around and in their car pretending to get gas, I guess, and you go up to do that tap. They'll do like an RF frequency thing at the time you're tapping to get the frequency or whatever, and they can steal your information that way as well now.
Yeah.
It has to be real instant, but
Well, that's what was weird to me about it because I only did it a handful of times. So I was like, it wasn't like every day I go to those places. Like that's
except for the liquor store.
no, that's all. I'm gonna go there probably once a month. Yeah, it's only like $120 for a case of liquor.
I suppose, yeah. If you're buying 2 handles at a time, you don't need to go.
A case. It's 6 bottles.
Speaking of crime,
You save
Dick,
20%.
have you ever dialed 911 accidentally? Or just 911 in general for anything?
I want to say I butt dialed them one time. Like the odds of me hitting 911 and it was because I was like, I heard voices. I was like, what's this? I'm like, this is like,
Oh, you heard voices on the phone, not in your head.
no, like
Okay,
out of my butt. And I'm like, what is going on?
Again,
And then
right.
I go, oh, shoot, it called 911.
That's interesting. I bet it
And-
didn't call 911. It was probably the
Emergency
emergency
something? Yeah,
thing.
I have no idea, but-
Which happened on my phone. Remember, I told you about that when it was in the little line conveyor belt to go through security at the airport. It was getting smashed just in the right area, and I could see it saying dialing emergency services. I'm like, no, don't do that. And I couldn't do anything because I was getting wanded at the time. I have dialed 911 inadvertently, not once, but twice. And I feel like it's not my fault because the company I worked for many years ago, in order for you to make a call outside of the building, you had to dial the prefix 9 and then 1.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, I was dialing 9, 1, and then an area code that started with 1. And I think I waited too long before I went to the area code, so I dialed 911. Wait, what is the area code? Is it 75? Yeah, 75. By then, 911 had been called. And we get this weird, phone call back on the phone saying, "Is everything okay?" We're like, "What the heck happened?" The second time I did it, and I didn't even know, and security showed up at the door. We were in this meeting, and it was like boom, 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 boom. They knocked at the door and opened up, and it wasn't police, but it was building security. And I guess they had to deal with the cops. Hey, look, if this happens, just send security first. So that was a
So
bit
you accidentally dialed and
twice, man, twice.
Yeah, I wonder how often that happens though. Like especially with everyone having phones on them.
Yeah, and who's
'Cause I
the
don't-
genius that decided to put 9 and 1 as the two numbers to dial outside of your building? But I bet, yeah, how often does that happen, I wonder?
Yeah. Well, especially like all those movies you see, they're trying to the people who are being attacked. They can't speak directly to the phone, and they're like talking to the attacker, trying to inform them that they didn't call. Like they're trying to hide the phone. They're like, and so that 911 operator is like, "What is this? Another prank? Hang up."
Did you ever have one of those kids or friends as a kid that dialed 911 as a prank? Yeah, I was always scared to death. If you do that, they take you to jail.
I imagine you get in somewhat
Oh
trouble.
yeah, you can, or your parents.
I never called 911 like on
Well,
purpose. so
good.
I
That's
never-
good. Yeah. Let's hope that it stays that way.
Well, I think we've talked about this. I'm the non-emergency guy.
You're the non-emergency guy.
Yeah.
Do explain, please.
Well, like if I'm ever like, there's been several scenarios where there was an incident, but I'm not going to call 911 because of the incident.
I thought you meant if there's an incident, people aren't going to call you. You're not the 911 guy.
No, well, of course I am, but I'm the black market.
Or you're the one who caused the incident.
No, I'm the underground 911 guy. I've already been told by this. What am I? This is how weird it is. So.
What are you even saying?
So I was hanging out with friends, and then my the person who I was with at the time, sister, goes, "Dick's the only person I call if we had to get rid of a body." And I go, "I don't know why you."
That's
would
a highest compliment, by the way.
See, I don't know.
Yeah, how do I take that?
'Cause
Wait, is that a compliment?
I
or are
can
you
understand
saying-
if it's like my best friend since middle school. He's my best friend since middle school, so of course. But this is somebody who I know through somebody
I
else.
could see this
and
being
I'm
the
like-
case, though.
I'm like, what's going on here? Like,
Because you could come up with some wild ideas of how to put somebody out of their misery, going and getting like a whole case of the drinkable mayonnaise, cramming it down their throats, and look, they just went wild on the mayonnaise one day and they asphyxiated on it.
yeah,
You know.
it is weird.
Wait, I just thought of that. Maybe I'm the weirdo.
But the non-emergency, I'm the king of that. The non-emergency.
King of non-emergency.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, I always have this weird feeling that if you call 911 and it's not like an absolute, like someone's like choking or something like that, the information being relayed is going to be so confusing to the 911 operator because they're going to be deducting what you're telling them.
And it does take some patience.
And they're like, wait a second, this isn't really an emergency. We'll send out an officer, but like it's not, they don't have a gun. They're not, this person just fell and they're just on the ground and they're fine. They just need to be taken to the hospital.
Non-emergency Dick. I love it.
Yeah.
Dick, it's this time of year where there's a lot of college bowl games. And I don't know if you're aware of the best bowl game out there. It's in its second year of existence, but it's the Pop-Tarts
this.
Bowl.
Oh, I saw
The
this.
Pop-Tarts Bowl is great. It's played in Orlando, Florida. This year it was Miami and Ohio State. Well, they offer a live Pop-Tarts mascot, a trophy with an actual working toaster, and a giant toaster that transforms the mascot into an edible snack for the winning team. So get this.
Well, what's funny is I saw this and I go, that almost looks like you could eat it.
Yeah.
And I was amazed.
So they throw this guy into a toaster. He pops out and it's a big toasted pastry. Look, are you showing this, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So what you're seeing right now is a mascot, is a person in a toaster going down, or in a Pop-Tarts costume going down into a large toaster, and then he just gets shot out of it in a edible form, which is great.
Well, I think it's a switcheroo, of course.
Of course, yes. Comes out the other side, and these guys are eagerly awaiting to get them some Pop-Tart to eat. I love it. Love it, man.
But no, did you see them tearing off the metal or the wrapper and everything?
No, I did not.
Oh, dude, you got to see this. So
They're just taking a chunk out of his ear there. Yeah.
Let's see if they have it.
Greatness.
Right, hold on.
No, I like this idea because there are other bowl games out there. This year we had the Duke's Mayonnaise Bowl, which these guys could just slam edible mayo after the game. I like that one. And also there was the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice. I guess they could just have a huge smokable blunt that everybody hits after the game. I like this idea, man. These guys are trailblazers.
I'm trying to see if I can find, because it was ridiculous, man. Like because he comes out into the full wrapped, and then he like tears it off, and it's a Pop-Tart. And I'm like,
oh, he just tears his own wrapping.
He has that silver wrapper.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And it comes out. And
I did not see. I've only seen them sans wrapper. That would be great. That silver wrapper. Those are the worst, by the way. You maybe and they always come in packages of 2. And if you want just one, you can't carefully open it to wrap it back up to save the second one. It just always tears all the way down the side. God, can't they make those things just a little bit more thick?
Here, let me try. I'm gonna pull it up for you.
Well, the mascot is by far the greatest part about these bowl games. I have to admit, I love it.
Here we go.
He is delicious looking.
Yeah, because when I was watching, I go, what is going on in this bowl game? And then it's the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Well, they said last year.
I'm telling you, it's pretty good.
Last year, the flavor was strawberry, although it does not say what the flavor was.
I think it was s'mores.
S'mores?
Yeah.
S'mores. All right. Since we referred to peeing earlier, we're going to add a couple stories about urine, Dick. Urine.
Cool.
Here's a secret that's not really a secret from CNN. Many people pee in the shower. Maybe you're one of those people that don't care, and since it's all going down the same drain, or perhaps you're one of those who finds it unhygienic, but when it comes to the going number one in the shower, urologists find it generally safe for both men and women. Dick, do you pee in the shower?
No.
You are one of these non-peers in the shower.
I've done it.
There you go. So you just don't make a habit out of it.
No.
You don't look like, God, I can't wait to get in the shower and take a leak. That's not you, though.
No. I have one of those automatic triggers that if I know I'm about to take a shower, I kind of get rid of everything before I get in.
Why don't you just do it in the shower? It's much more efficient.
That way I can clean myself, knowing.
But if you have that trigger, then why wouldn't you just wait to pee in the shower?
Because I don't want to pee on my feet.
Is that what it is? You think pee? But isn't it like 99% sterile?
Probably.
Out of all the nasty things you do, that's the one thing you draw the line.
I'm not a nasty boy.
I refuse to pee on my feet. Well, apparently,
I don't. I never said I refuse. It just doesn't cross my mind.
I just think it's interesting that this is on CNN Health, where a doctor has had to come out and say there's no downside and it's perfectly safe. And I'm thinking, did anyone think this was not safe? How can this not be safe?
I mean, it could. There's a lot of problems.
I said I guess they say it's really a personal preference that people who don't like to associate a place where you clean yourself in the shower to a place you do some elimination. I will say the same for me. It's not like I haven't done it. I don't make a habit out of it, but there are times where it's like, man, I'm already in here, and I got to go, what's it going to hurt? And the doctors now say, perfectly safe, Dick. Perfectly safe.
Well, good. Next year they'll say it's not.
Well, you're probably one of those people, too, that don't wash your feet because you're saying the soap and the water goes down.
I do wash my feet.
Yeah, I don't understand the people that don't wash their feet in the shower. People
actually installed a support beam in my shower so I can wash my feet properly. without slipping.
That's
I have
smart.
I have a great fear of slipping in the wet
Yeah,
shower.
I kind of do too, man, because I've done it.
Yeah.
And I
it
haven't gone.
hurts.
I didn't go completely down. I've done the multiple times where I've slipped and caught myself, and I'm thinking that could have been bad.
Yeah.
So, well, the common argument against standing up for urinating for women is that this position does not allow the pelvic floor muscles to relax, leading to forced straining and incomplete emptying of the bladder. However, doctors, blah, 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 I'm not going to try and say, oh, it's just Schusterman. I thought it was something a little bit different. A urologist and chief physician at Modern Urology in New York says this assertion is not true. So Mr. Schusterman says, ladies, stand up and let it fly. The two muscles controlling the urine flow from your bladder are called the urinary sphincters. Dick, were you aware that those were called urinary sphincters?
Interesting.
There's one at the base of the bladder and another one near the pelvic floor. But I guess for men, it don't really matter.
Interesting.
We're just now. I have heard in certain like situations, if you're in, say, like a river, and it may not be the most clean, you probably don't want to urinate because there could be bacteria
Yeah.
that will swim upstream of your pee and into
I don't
your
fart either.
person. Why not?
Because a little bit, we'll get in.
You think because the opening kind of opens for a second?
Hey, man, it's all about pressure, right? No, I think this is hilarious to me because I've been watching a lot of travel videos because I'm going traveling, and I've always wanted to do a train
Excuse me?
trip. I've always wanted to do a train trip. I think it'd be really cool, especially like to go like from Washington to like Chicago or something like that.
Yes.
And
I think it would be neat for about 15 minutes.
well, so I was looking at because I'm very capable of being by myself and playing video games or reading. And
Self-sustainable you
I'm,
are.
I'm very good with that. And then I started watching videos like, I wonder what Amtrak's like. What are like?
Right. It could make a short trip unnecessarily long. Let's see how long this will take.
Well, I want to know what it looks like.
Yeah.
And you see the bathrooms, and I'm like, this guy. They knew he was coming, right? Like they know this guy was going to review this awesome trip that cost $1,500. That bathroom looks like I could scrape it, and that you would just get scum off of like the sink. It just looks so old and like what I'm talking. Like it's the problem with people who wash their dishes and don't clean off the soap.
Okay. Yeah. Leave
know-
a film on there. Sure.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. But I'm talking like years of it. And I'm like, dang, that's gotta be the.
Maybe it was just hard water stains. You know, it's the calcium buildup.
And I believe it, but it's just I can't imagine I've only been on an airplane a couple times, so I can't imagine.
Well-
especially with guys peeing.
Well, what a perfect segue to the
Okay.
next story, Dick. Thank you so much for going there. A flight attendant has revealed the grim reason why you should not use toilet paper in the airplane bathroom.
oh, easy, because you're peeing everywhere.
See, okay, that's what she says, is that men have a hard time controlling where they're aiming. And I, for one, am calling bullshit on this, man. Come on.
No, I think we talked about something similar before. Was like to really mess with germaphobes. Is you ask them when they go number 2, do they shut the toilet seat before they flush?
Right.
Because of there was all those studies about fecal matter
Sure,
dispersion, or
flying into the
whatever.
air, yeah.
And I'm like, and people like when you tell people that, they're like, I don't remember. I don't remember. I'm like, oh man, what are we gonna do about it?
Well, this lady says when turbulence hit and the little boys who are pointing and shooting, it goes everywhere. It usually ends up on the toilet paper, so if you don't want that kind of stuff in your nether regions, use the tissue paper. All right. I will say this. I can imagine at times there can be turbulence while someone may be using the restroom that might cause an errant stream. But I don't think that's the common reason why you may have some particulates of pee on the toilet paper. How about the fact that when you go to flush that thing, it's like 40 psi where the and that stuff's going everywhere.
Yeah.
You got to hold on to your
Well,
scarf
even
not
that.
to get sucked down
I
in there.
imagine the toilet's
It's
not,
flying around everywhere. That whole bathroom is nasty. It has nothing to do
it's
with
probably
guys.
not standard size either.
Yeah, it's got to be a little
So-
bit smaller, man. What are we talking about?
The toilet.
Right.
When you're
mhm.
peeing, you're
yeah,
like,
that too.
so I dig it.
I don't know. She said that it's cleaner so instead of the toilet paper, but any bathroom I've ever been in on an airplane, the toilet paper's right here and the tissue paper's just on the other side. They're kind of in the same spot, just left
I don't
and
know.
right. So
I'll
I don't
check it out.
understand.
I'll check it out
So,
when
yeah,
I'm on an
I want you
airplane.
to know that. But she says do not
I'll make sure to
use
hold it in
the
when I
toilet
get on,
paper.
and I'm like, I'll text you, but I got it everywhere, dude. I didn't even mean to.
Well, the story gets a little more vulgar, but we won't go into that. I just thought it was nice to cover a little bit of stories about pee, Nick.
I mean, those are always interesting because it's part of life.
Did you hear about the top-ranked chess player Magnus Carlsen?
Yeah, I heard
and all
about
the
that.
controversy over
He wore
him.
jeans.
The nerve of this guy wearing jeans to the World Championship last week, and he was asked to change, and he said, I'm not doing it.
See, what's interesting me about this, because this is the same reaction I had when we're going to nationals this year for bowling, and I was told I have to wear slacks.
Yes, Dick, there is a dress code.
There's a dress code, and I'm like, I don't own a pair of slacks.
You're going to have to.
And I was like, can I just wear whatever I want and just not?
No, they will not let you participate.
I know.
As someone who has done 17 or 18 of those
I
national
know.
tournaments before,
And again,
I can tell you they do hold a strict dress code.
But you also have to. There's also a unspoken rule of matching.
You don't have to. You just are eligible for awards if everyone is matching.
Yeah.
But you don't have to.
And because when our team, I don't really know the guys too well, and I'm like, I don't really care about any of this guys. Like, I just want to go bowl.
Yeah.
And
Shocker.
I was like,
Maybe nationals isn't for you.
that's why I'm kind of regretting going, but.
Now you'll have a good time, man.
Well, I
Trust
know
me, it's a good time.
I know I have a good time, but when I read this article, it made me laugh. Like, that's me. But then also, he does this for a living.
Correct. And he's a world champion and probably the most famous, notable, well-known chess player. He knows what the rules are. It's not like you and me going to participate and going, what? Oh, man, I got to change. This guy knows.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, he just decided, I'm going to push the limits here.
Well, also, he probably changed the rules. They probably changed it.
And they
after
did.
that.
They kind of relaxed it. They came back and said, all right, we'll allow it this time.
Because from when I remember reading about this, they'll allow you to play, but you have to pay a fine. Depending on, I don't know if it's a fine per game or per day, but it can really stack up. But apparently this has happened not just to him. Like a lot of people just do this because they feel more comfortable.
Sure.
And you know how chess people are.
And they can
be
hide
kind
that
of-
little vibrator thing in their butt
Yeah.
a little more easy with jeans
But
on.
anyway, with that, what I like about this is, he did this to change the rule.
So here's my theory on it. I don't know if he did it to change the rule, or did he do it just so people would talk about it? Because right now, if this hadn't happened, you and I aren't talking about the World Chess
Oh,
Championships.
no, but no one's ever going to talk about it.
They would if there's controversy.
Not really. I mean, they'll talk about it for the day, but no one's going to I'm going to play chess now that I can wear jeans.
It has gotten more popular. We've talked about that ever since COVID. There has been an uptick in the
Plus,
popularity.
It's kind of like online poker. It's like
I
everyone
suppose.
plays on.
Except
Everyone's
it's chess.
chess is fun, I guess.
But I think this is dangerous if we start changing the rules, Dick. Because next thing you know, someone's going to be there in a furry suit taking out a rook with their
I like
bishop.
it. I like it.
We have to bring some decorum back to the chess match, Dick. This is a gentleman's game. Damn it.
Well, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about how people present themselves, and if you're playing in that competition, who really cares as long as you're playing in the competition and you show up on time. Now, if you're wearing a furry suit that you're knocking over stuff because your fingers are too big,
And your tail's knocking crap over.
I can understand you're not allowed to wear that, but the whole again the bowling slacks thing really gets to me.
Well, it says an
I wanna-
official fined him $200. Not very steep fine. You got to make it more than that. If it's only $200, yeah, they're not going to adhere to this. And to change his pants, but he refused and wasn't paired for the 9th round game, the Federation said at the time. The organization noted that another Grandmaster, kind of an odd name for a chess player,
kind of like a black belt.
Ian Nepomniachtchi was
Oh,
fined
hell
earlier in the
yeah.
day for wearing sports shoes. What does that matter? It's under the table anyways,
Well,
anybody
that's
can
what I'm
see it.
saying. My mind's still blown about the
But he
bowling
changed
thing.
his shoes and continued to play. But I guess it's the fact that maybe old Carlson there didn't have a change of pants.
Yeah.
He stood his ground. He stood his ground, man. Are you aware that the most haunted hotel in Texas and all of its ghosts are up for sale?
Wonderful.
The Old Park Hotel, built in 1886, has been called the most haunted hotel in the state of Texas, and now it is up for sale along with all of its ghastly friends. There are plenty of ghosts as well, from the Shadow Cowboy that reportedly appears all over the hotel, and another cowboy named Slim who likes to whistle to women who used to work for the brothel that was run in the hotel. This just sounds like your house, by the way. This doesn't sound like.
Oh, dude. So I went on a ghost tour, not necessarily a ghost tour, but in Charleston, and there was a street, and the history of that street was phenomenal. It was like, because Charleston's been around for a long time. The town has. It's a harbor town or port town.
We're talking about South Carolina?
Yeah. And they had, like, at one time they had the mix of pirates, brothels, and then the government.
Okay.
All on the street. And I'm like, man, can you imagine?
Well, it's efficient that way.
Well,
Dick.
because when the ports usually start, kind of like Louisiana. Louisiana's ports started as pirate ports, like the majority of the ports. And it's like, I wonder what kind of riffraff was going on. And they're talking about the Charleston one and how many people died, how many people were assassinated, how many just like every day you go down the street, people were just shooting each other. And I'm like, that would be awesome.
I suppose it could be. Like I said, it's all close together for efficiencies.
So, yeah, you ever been to Charleston?
I have not. I would like to.
Wonderful.
I would like to. Well, the Old Park Hotel is in Ballinger, Texas. I'm not entirely sure where Ballinger, Texas is. And they have some pictures here of what the hotel looks like. And I have to admit, looks a little creepy. Not a place where I would want to go. But according to the San Angelo Standard Times, the current owners, Connie and Dan LaFave, hold on. Connie and Dan do not sound like the names of people who are going to own a haunted hotel. Just going to throw it out there. I don't know. Be somebody like Igor, Melinda, something. I don't know, but Connie and Dan don't strike me as the names of people who own a haunted hotel.
I've actually been there.
Hold on.
Because it's south of Abilene.
Hold on. You've been to this hotel.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Just like a day trip.
To go see the ghosts?
Just go check it out.
Because you don't go to a hotel for a day trip, Dick. That's kind of the purpose of a hotel, to stay overnight.
I was with a chick.
Yeah, you were. It was the same one you got lucky with on top of the parking garage.
Maybe.
Okay, so no, you just went to check it out, but during the daytime, all the ghosts and the cowboy wasn't whistling at your chick or nothing. Nothing. You didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
It was just something to do to spend the day with somebody I cared about.
Oh, I care about you. Let's go to a haunted, rundown old.
Let's go
hotel.
do some cool stuff.
Nothing says love like that, huh?
Yeah, maybe we could suicide each other and we'll be haunting this place forever.
Well, I think you and I need to go check this out and maybe do an episode from this place. It sounds awesome. I have not been to this hotel, but I have been to the Skirvin in Oklahoma that is supposedly haunted. And when I was there,
you ever slept?
I did not see anything.
Have you ever
or hear
slept in
anything.
a house built in the 1800s?
Yes. I believe 2 years ago I went to a bed and breakfast in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and I believe it was built in the late 1800s. It was awesome.
It's terrible.
Well, this one was awesome.
It's terrible. One of our family friends had a what do you call it? A river house, I guess, but it was in Maryland, and it was built in like the mid 1800s. And the installed piping over the years, everything creaked, like all the doors.
That's called ambiance.
It is you can hear everything.
And you hear the neighbors doing it.
Well, not even the neighbors. Like the house is a fairly large house, but it's just it's just built so long ago. There's not a lot of insulation, and they try to do updates and modern updates, and then when you try to combine that with old style house,
I love it.
there's
all
a lot
the
of
words you're
movement.
saying right now, I think are just fine.
Like my favorite thing is if it's dead silent, you can hear anyone use the restroom. And
Yeah,
that's
that is always funny to me.
Wait, no, it's creepy.
It sounds like someone pouring a glass of
you're like,
water.
what is that? And then it's just like,
And what's even worse is like it's the person upstairs across the place,
Yeah.
and you're like, man, I can hear you taking a leak right now.
I hear everybody like somebody's up, like Jesus. And then it's creepy
Bro,
stuff.
don't drink water after 9 p.m. Come on.
Yeah. And that's why I'd rather sleep outside. And then that kind of noise I'm okay with, but like the house creaking stuff, that'd drive me nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about old places does it for me, but you're right. I think they're probably some of the modern conveniences and the modern builds do make it for a little bit, I don't know, maybe more of a relaxing time. Maybe you're right.
No, I mean, just the combination of it they collided. So you could hear everything, and then you hear the new modern stuff. Yeah. You couldn't hear a fart.
Bet you could.
But like, and also.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, it's not a fun time. It was great staying there, though, seeing the family friends.
I bet. Well, it is for sale. So if the Schistlers are into perhaps a new business venture,
I don't
a
really
haunted
know.
hotel in Bellinger, Texas might be in your future. Got a couple stories here I'm going to skip and save for next week, and this is the quick hit here at the end of the show. Dick, are you aware of who Steven Rothstein is?
I love these quick hits at the end of the show. No, I don't.
He is a stockbroker from the U.S. who was able to travel first class every time he flew after purchasing an air pass with American Airlines back in 1987 when he was aged 37 for only $250,000. He paid another $150,000 for a companion pass, which would allow him to travel with a guest. For over 2 decades, Rothstein enjoyed his golden ticket flying multiple times a month. But by 2008, he had traveled 30 million miles on 10,000 flights, reportedly costing the airline over $21 million. He flew to destinations including Nova Scotia, New York, Miami, London, Los Angeles, Maine, Denver, etc. But in 2008, it all came to an end when he was stripped of the pass, with American Airlines going on to sue him.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty crazy story. So basically, they sold this ticket in an effort back in the 80s to drum up some business. They thought it was only going to be used by corporate executives. This guy got it and just decided to use it for everything it was worth, racking up millions of dollars. And so essentially, this airline company had to come up with a way to get him to stop.
Well, it's interesting because they go, there's only one rule: you have to use the pass.
Correct. And he said that he never, ever lent it out to anyone else. Scout's honor, that was back in the day before you really had to show a lot of ID. He promises that he didn't. However, American Airlines says there were several passengers booked with alternate names under that pass.
But he had a companion pass, so they could be with him.
That could be it. Well, he countersued them, and eventually they settled out of court, and I'm not sure how much he made, but it is now since gone.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
By the wayside. But I just love the fact that this guy, back in the 80s, had enough money at age 37 to go, wait a minute. I can buy this for $250,000, and I can fly anywhere for the rest of my life.
That either tells me, because like I said,
pretty
I don't
awesome.
fly that often. That either tells me airline tickets are ridiculously expensive for no
and they're
reason.
only going in one direction.
Because I have a couple pilot friends, and one thing that always amazes me with them, depending on what flight it is, they can just bring anyone on with them.
Sure.
Like I don't know what they call it, not delay. They call it something special. Like if I wanted to fly with my buddy, if there was seats or they have a certain area that I could just sit, and I'm non-existent on the flight.
Sounds awesome.
And so it's really not going to cost them that much money to have one extra person. So
You wouldn't think.
I'm interested. I'm interested to know what this guy's doing now if he flies anymore. Can you imagine having that for 2 decades and then it's like, well, I got to pay for this?
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird. I bet he doesn't travel as much anymore.
Yeah. That would be kind of funny to have that kind of thing. I'm surprised they even offered that. I would make it more of like a sweepstakes, not like a moneymaker.
Yeah, it says here the airline claimed that the stockbroker made, quote, speculative bookings for non-existent passengers under names including Bag Rothstein and Steven Rothstein Jr. I don't know. So that was their claim. They sued him for that, and he countersued. Again,
Yeah.
settled out of court. Awesome, man. Well, this was a good show. I'm glad we got this one in, like all of them. And again, onesies, if you would do us a favor, please like, share, subscribe, follow, tell a friend about the Audience of One show. We would greatly appreciate it. Help us grow this little show. We're having fun, and hopefully we can continue to have fun throughout this entire new year. Dick, enjoyed it, buddy. Until next week.
Peace.